if a traditional healer, Sangoma, what differentiates them to a witch doctor? I get it, they know how to mix the herbs and stuff, and they have connects in their industry. At some point, they do gravitate towards the darkness. Can every Sangoma or healer say that they've never dabbled in something dark? And even if you did say it, how would I know? I wasn't there. I'm not with you 24/7. Therefore, that's why I say to people, rather stay away from them from the jump. Don't get yourself intertwined because you don't actually know. You know what the crazy thing is? They might even give you something and they say that this thing is going to help you with this situation. This thing is going to bring you back to them. I get it, they can see into the future and see into your life. Then they can see how much is in your bank account type of situation, because the familiar spirits are always whispering in their ears.
Let me just start by saying, by the time you were still a Sangoma, were you saying human body parts?
Ish.
Yeah.
My first dark thing that I did, I had a client from Joburg while I was staying in Balent, and wafika ngo 6 ekseni, and he was like, "Gogo mina nginkabi." And inyanga yami sishonile, and I was not famous. Nobody knew me. Am I famous? Okay, cool. But anyway, nobody knew me at that time.
At the time, yeah, you didn't have a public profile.
No, I still had umkhukunyana wami wendumba to consult. And I remember I had 2 initiates at that time, and he said, "So, ngibulala abantu abaningi abakhulu. And ngiyazivikela nami umsebenzi wami webhapa lo. So, kunento engethe kuwena. Ngithi ufuna nathi ngifuna ungivikele ukuthi mangiyobulala lowo muntu angangipokeli futhi ngingavelelwa yinkinga nami. Inyanga yami bingisiza kanjalo, asho njalo. Kinda lazula, because it was my first time. You know, we hear these stories, but it was my first time given a client so ngalahla amathambo qala to check ukuthi ngabuza bakho ukuthi namuza lo muntu uthini. Usho kanje, so can I help ngalahla amathambo? Oh, wavuma. Athi ha? Ngabheka amathwasa wami bewayithunga wabheka. Ngabheka lo bhuti. Bengifuna ukuthi I can't help, but nakuvuma ithambo. Ayi. So be it. Then I helped him.
What do you specialize in? What's the one thing you know, like, yo, if you need this, I can hook you up right now. I'm that guy.
My strongest point is witchcraft. And so...
Oh, the fucky apple. Your strongest point is witchcraft.
Yeah.
So what do you do?
Umroil. Yeah.
Oh!
No way. No, let's not say kumloile. It's a thing of you think you know better when I've helped.
A lot of sangomas, people don't understand. Some sangomas actually work with surgeons who sell your fat. Okay, especially if you are rich, if you are white, you wealthy. Okay, I said rich and wealthy. It goes both, but you are alive, meaning lapo you don't need to die, because gushogusi if guwe gungena 20,000 nangapha kuzongena imali ngoba ngisebenzise ini amafutha.
100% yabantu engisebenza ngayo, 70% efikayo, it's all about witchcraft. Ufuna ukwenza into so emntwini, ufuna ukudlisa ubani, ufuna ufaka ubani isichitho, it's all that. 30% yabo yilo muntu othi gogo kuyabheda ngifuna umsebenzi, ngifuna izinto eziso. The rest, it's all bad things. So ngokuthi mangifike endlini nje ndodami ukuthi I can't anymore. I don't want to do this anymore because kuyabheda man. Abantu they don't want impumelelo, they just want to destroy each other. I can't anymore.
You know why? Because a lot of people are accepting of their behavior. A lot of people are consulting. A lot of people hear this shit and then they think to themselves, that's the one I want to go and consult with. That's what you're thinking of. People are being deleted. And then the dark voodoo magic is covering it up. And guess what? The ones that are deleting people, they have to keep on going back and back and back. And when they stop going back, the evil spirits, they turn against them. even the Sangomas themselves, or these witch doctors. I get you guys, some of you are saying, not all Sangomas. How would I know?
Let's talk more about the supposed Muti killings allegedly at the hands of traditional healers. And for that, we're joined by Chairperson of the African National Healers Association, Dr. Johannes Mpelo. Dr. Mpelo, good morning to you. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Not an easy discussion, 100%. I think we can all agree there. Let's start with your initial thoughts when you saw the Jocelyn story, and certainly how Muti killings then became the center of the discussion.
Thank you very much, and greetings to our audience. At first, when I heard of Jocelyn's story, I was so sad, and this has also created a negative spark into our association as the African National Healers Association, because we do not allow people to do such acts in our country, and it's also our issue. That is why we are involved in this issue now in order to sort the matter out together with the police.
Yeah, I can imagine that it certainly becomes a very negative discussion for traditional healers. But there, unfortunately, is a market where murderers are feeding into. I mean, let's talk about just how big of a problem, in your view, we're actually seeing here. Where we're seeing the killings of children motivated by Muti, it means there is a demand. What are we doing wrong?
Thanks, but I would like to tell the audience that we as the traditional healers, we are not the murderers. We do not mutilate children or other people for multi-purpose. Those guys who poses as traditional healers, that's the problem which we are currently facing in the world at large. People are posing as traditional healers and are mutilating children and other people for multi-purposes. And those guys, if you can search thoroughly, they are not registered. They are not legitimate. They are not original traditional healers. Because we as original traditional healers, we do offer workshops to our traditional healers and teach them on how to behave with the society, how to hold themselves with the society, how to behave, not to kill other people for muti and blah, 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 so on and so on.
Is the issue, I mean, you're talking about educating traditional healers and speaking to them about laws and such. Is the issue, Dr. Mpela, that perhaps that we simply have not regulated the sector of traditional leadership? I mean, if you enter any rural setting, for instance, and ask if there is a registration of traditional leaders, I doubt that that's a conversation communities have ever had, right? If a traditional leader or healer, rather, is registered anywhere. I mean, is it time for us to start regulating? And even then, how do we go about doing something like that?
Yeah, if I hear you very well, we do have different associations and we do have regulation and acts that are governing traditional healers associations and traditional healers as well. So when someone, after someone graduated for his or her initiate, by the law, he or she has been forced to register with any of the registered association that she is now a traditional healer, then that particular person will be issued with a certificate and a license to operate. And if we find out that someone is unregistered, we as African National Healers Association, we make sure that that particular person, we report him to the police and should be charged accordingly.
Have you had cases like that happen before? I mean, talk to me about those instances and examples that you can share about, finding a traditional healer, and I say that with inverted commas, who subscribes to the practice of muti killings and handing them over to police. Will you share with us those examples?
Yeah, even though some of the things we are not allowed to just put them in the public, yes, we do help the police, and we did help the police with so many cases involving fake traditional healers. Those are not traditional healers. Because ever since I've been in the African National Healers Association, and as my experience as a traditional healer, I've never heard of a registered traditional healer who has committed such offense. All those I've heard about are non-registered. And there are so many here in the...
Dr. Mpelo, I think the discussion really isn't necessarily at this point about traditional healers that are registered or not. And that's why I went back to the point about how go to any rural community and ask if a traditional healer is registered. I don't think those are conversations that happen in, for instance, a rural community. People aren't asking that question. I'm asking you, as a registered association that oversees, or at least attempts to oversee the work of traditional healers, how many healers, and I say that again with inverted commas, have you handed over to police because you suspect or have found that they engage in muti killings? Essentially what I'm trying to find out here is what oversight is there over the work that traditional healers do to protect communities?
We as the traditional healers, I always tell my people that traditional healer is like a priest, it's like a pastor, it's like a police officer. Traditional healer is someone who must uphold and maintain the law at all times. And our duties as traditional healers is to heal the nation, is to protect everyone or every citizen or everyone who is in our country. We don't have to murder those people or to mutilate them. It is against the law. So our main aim is to protect the society at large. That is why I always tell people that we are like police officers. We are like pastors. It's our duty to safeguard our people, to safeguard our country at large.
Let me ask you one final question. What is the mandate of your association?
Come again?
What is the mandate of your association, Dr. Mpelo?
The mandate of our association is to make sure that all traditional healers are registered and are going in line with the law. And another thing, we teach and train other traditional healers on how to operate with the society, with their patients, because our big mandate is to make sure that no one of the traditional healers engage him or herself in such acts of human mutilation and so on and so on. Yeah. That's our main mandate.
All right, it certainly is a difficult conversation, but thank you so much for speaking to us. We really do appreciate your time. That there is Dr. Johannes Mpelo, who is chairperson of the African National Healers Association, speaking to us around his views, particularly coming out of the Jocelyn Smith story, where we believe that the 6-year-old was sold for 20,000 rand allegedly. This is for the purpose of a muti killing. And of course the question remains, what are we doing to deal with what seemingly is a demand for muti killings in South Africa?
I'm not a cow, bitch. Vote. Listen, I'm gonna make you sweat, make you wet, make you wet. I'm gonna make you scared, little baby, pissing in your chest pressure. Vault unlocked. Hello, what is up, you dazzling diamonds and the others? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Linda Kyle, and this is the Vault. Anyway, you guys, let's jump straight into this video. Alrighty then, you guys. If you guys haven't already, please do like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And if you guys do enjoy my videos, please do click on that thank you button. Guys, in the spirit of the whole Jocelyn Smith case and us discovering that it was possibly, I mean, it hasn't been determined that it was, but apparently, allegedly, it was one of those Sangoma, or rather, witch doctor, body part, muti ritual type of situations. I really don't know what we would call it, because, damn, those people, they get called a lot of things. Some people have been saying in my comments, right, that we cannot classify all of them as evil because Sangomas are actually healers, and it's just a vernacular term that they have, like a doctor in the Western medicine. Some people are like, there's Sangomas, there's traditional healers, and then there's witch doctors. My thing is this, and my thing has always been this, if you can even go back in all of my videos. How do we determine who is type of situation? Especially with the rise and the fashion of this traditional healerism, Sangomarism, how do we know who is? As soon as we see that you are falling under that group of people, naturally, we get scared that you're one of those evil people, because we've seen the popular ones coming out on screen multiple times, time and time again. Some of them even have podcasts saying that they do evil deeds. They've bewitched their baby daddies. They've bewitched their own husbands. And they started off as healers. That's like the ground level, the base of the situation. And then they gravitate into become evil. They become witch doctors. So from healers, which are called Sangomas, they then gravitate to witch doctors, which are just evil witches. But you cannot sit there and say to me, oh my gosh, not everybody is the same. You must understand. You must. How would I realize? How would I know? I don't go to the Ndumbas. So as soon as there's one person that says that they are evil and they fall under that group, obviously, as a rational human being, I'm going to think that, they must all be deviling in these freaky deaky things. Especially the ones that are making that paper. As unfortunate as it is, everybody must just fall into that category, but that's what it is. That's what it is. Because your peers, if you are one of these healers and stuff like that, your peers have come out to tell us the shady shit that they do. And obviously they also started off as babies in the Ndumbas, as healers, and then they gravitate towards the witchcraft. So how do you expect me to then say, oh, but there's a difference between this one and that one, but you're all wearing the same uniform? Come on, man. You people are adults at this point. You mustn't come into my comment section and say, but there's a difference. How do I know? How do I know? And it's not about being ignorant. It's about being aware. That at some point, whatever profession that you're in, you want to elevate and grow. Even Sangomarism. If you start out as a person that is healing people with herbs and herbs, at some point when you see your peers making it now, healing or escalating their situation, their business, it's become a business. It's like church. It's a big business. People go to churches for fashion. You get to church, and this is the reason why I stopped going to the buildings of church. I'd rather praise and worship God. I have my Bible. I do my thing with my family. Because I was at a church, and I told you guys this before, where after everything was said and done, now it's time to go home slumby at that time. We've done our thing. We've cleansed our minds and our souls and our bodies. We feel great. We were touched by the message of the day. They stop everybody and say, it's not enough money that you guys gave in today. Where? It was not just one church that happened to me at. It was multiple churches. And I walk out every single time. And that's why I don't go to the buildings of churches. I would rather do my praise and worship and be in my closet, in my secret place with God. Because when did it become a business? You're telling people who the money is not enough. What if that is the tidings that they could give? And tidings don't only mean money. Who came up with this nonsense? Tidings don't only mean money. It could be your time. It could be your food, your clothing, whatever it is that you are willing to give to those that don't have as much as you have. So when you start doing those things and you're telling us, you're looking at the books, and you're telling us that, are you mad? It's a business. You have to make a profit for that day type of situation. So how would I know what Sangoma, if a traditional healer Sangoma, what differentiates them to a witch doctor? I get it, they know how to mix the herbs and stuff, and they have connects in their industry. At some point, they do gravitate towards the darkness. Can every Sangoma or healer say that they've never dabbled in something dark? And even if you did say it, how would I know? I wasn't there. I'm not with you 24/7. Therefore, that's why I say to people, rather stay away from them from the jump. Don't get yourself intertwined because you don't actually know. You know what the crazy thing is? They might even give you something and they say that this thing is going to help you with this situation. Kanti, this thing is going to bring you back to them. I get that they can see into the future and see into your life. Then they can see how much is in your bank account type of situation, because the familiar spirits are always whispering in their ears. So forgive me if I have an attitude about the situation, but the situation is the situation. It's facts. I don't know who the healers are and who the shady ones are. Therefore, if you guys are in the same group, in the same class, whether a part of you started off good and then you changed and some remained good, it doesn't freaking matter. It's only a matter of time until you change. Because I can only imagine. I know spirituality. I know a lot about spirituality. And I know how draining it can be. And you will get anxious. And you will get taken over by darker spirits. You will. And you will khalela the ones that are making it and you're not. Because you're a healer. God didn't intend for you to be rich and powerful and mystical. No, it doesn't work that way. Because there's only one God. If you were to get to that level as a Sangoma or a healer, people will start to worship you. And that's one thing that God is against. The worship of man. Idols.
When will we ever be honest with ourselves? When will we ever be honest with ourselves that if the rites or the rituals that I'm doing are contrary to what is in Scripture, then what I'm praying to is not God? There are so many people who are so stuck up, who will say we are judging people. These are the African traditions that our forefathers have been practicing. It doesn't change the fact that it's wrong. I'm looking at that picture and I'm seeing blood, I'm seeing candles, I'm seeing water, I'm seeing incense. Who is receiving all of that? Because I can know that it's definitely not God. He said, do you think sacrifice is what I want? I want obedience. He says obedience is better than sacrifice. If you disobey God, you are a witch. He said you should not worship any other God. Don't speak to dead people. So already you are a witch. I'm not bashing anybody, guys. I want people to accept the truth that you are not praying to God. You might belong to this group of people. I want to tell you that you are not praying to God. In your head, you think that because the Bible is opened, there's water, you are a prophet. Listen, you are not praying to God. Somebody lied to y'all. I don't know who. But I'm here to tell you guys the truth. You're not praying to God. If pastors don't want to tell you that you guys are not praying to God, then I will tell you for free. You are not praying to God. You're praying to familiar spirits. You guys are asking, hey, Lisedi, Mangeloyi. You don't pray to angels. You don't summon angels. The Bible says that let God be true and all men liars. At the end of the day, he himself said, heaven and earth shall come to pass, but my word will remain the same. I don't know what God you guys are talking to with blood, chicken bloods, and candles and incense and water with the Bible. I don't know which God you're talking to, but it's definitely not the God that I serve. Jesus Christ is Lord. He is the King of Kings, okay? Please accept him. He loves you. He wants you to see light. He cares about you, okay? Thank you. Goodbye.
You worship God. So when people are starting to put you up on this pedestal that is so mystical, oh my gosh, you do all these miracles, your muti works. Guess what? It's gonna fuck with your mind. Don't you ever make the mistake of thinking that somebody's a Sangoma, therefore they are righteous or they know so much more. You could know the same more that they know. And you can just communicate with God. It's that simple. Nobody is above anybody. I told you guys this before. Anyone can become a Sangoma. Anyone can. If I didn't have discernment and if I didn't believe in God the way that I do, I could have become a Sangoma. Trust and believe. They've come up to me and told me of my calling, my this, my that. But I made a choice. I consulted with God first. And I said, what is this? What is going on? And then God is going to answer you. I always tell you guys this. You just need to listen. It's not going to come in this voice that you're probably wondering. It's all mystical. Yes, my child. It might. But it doesn't mean that it's going to. God talks to you in your dreams. He shows you signs and things like that. And when it hits you, when you see those signs, or when you have that dream and you remember it for some reason, you can always link it back to the question that you asked God, and that is your answer. It is that simple. It is actually that simple. God is not far away from you. He's right inside of you. I don't know why people make it so complicated, and it's quite annoying that they do. So, with the whole Justin Smith disappearance and us now conversating about the whole Sangomarism situation that is very aggravating, I saw a video. Look how these things just, pop up into my life. From one of the people from the Board of Traditional Healers. Yeah, the Board of Traditional Healers. There's such a thing. I've obviously known that there's such a thing that exists. And I'm so glad that this person came out to speak, because I've been asking the question, where are the laws about these evil people?
Traditional healers, we are not the murderers. We do not mutilate children or other people for multi-purpose. Those guys who poses as traditional healers, that's the problem which we are currently facing in the world at large. People are posing as traditional healers and are mutilating children and other people for multi-purposes. And those guys, if you can search thoroughly, they are not registered. They are not legitimate. They are not original traditional healers. Because we as original traditional healers, we do offer workshops to our traditional healers and teach them on how to behave with the society, how to hold themselves with the society, how to behave, not to kill other people.
I'm not saying that all of them are evil, but then again, I don't really know, do I? When you start doing mystical zibby-jibbies, please, leave it there. Don't come to me. If I want to know something, and anyway, why do you consult? Why do you want to know about your future? It takes away the mystery and the joy of life. It takes away the excitement of the unexpected. It's a gift to be alive. You need to it's a gift. You need to appreciate it. And the mystery of it is a gift. Imagine knowing everything that's going to happen blow by blow. Imagine if you knew the day or date that you were going to perish. It sucks out the fun of life. It sucks out the drive. It sucks out everything. Everything becomes pointless. You're not even going to try as hard as you would have. Type of situation. You might think that, if you know your date, then you're going to complete your bucket list. It doesn't work out that way. It becomes depressing. And that's why we don't know when we are going to perish. So why do you consult with these people to know these things about your future or about your life? You should know about your life. And if you want to know about your life, pray. God is going to answer you. And if you say, I can't hear God, that's your fault. That is your doing. You are not drawing closer to Him in such a way that you can actually hear what He is saying, because God always answers. He does. That is not a lie. I'm telling you because I know this on a daily. I see it on a daily in my own personal life. And I'm no different from you. I'm not some mystical creature. I'm just like you. But I listen. And I believe and I have faith. And that is why I can hear. You catch my drift? So this person from the Board of Traditional Healers came out to then speak about how they do identify who the evil people are. Then they report them to the cops and so on and so forth. My question to this guy is, then why haven't you reported Ukokos Koteni, Obokoko Maweni, all these people? Kokos Koteni is the one that I was speaking about in my previous video. And I'm going to say it like it is, because she did mention on that interview that she did with DJ Spoo that was it DJ Spoo or was it the other one? The other podcast, man. How was it? Nkululeko and Culture. Where she said that she has helped Ingabi. This thing does bother me, and that's why I keep bringing it up. She does help Ingabi to get away or to mask themselves or to survive heists, killings, and all these things. Have they investigated her? Or are there certain people that are untouchable? Because people are really concerned at this point. The society, everyone is concerned about these Sangomas, apparent healers. And in this case, we're going to call them witch doctors. People are concerned. We're all concerned. I've been asking where are the laws against them, especially people that have public platforms, large platforms, and say, I help Inkabi. And if you follow and love these people, you have a problem. Something is wrong with you, actually. No, seriously. How is it that you are so mad at Ukelu you are so mad at serial killers, you are so mad at them, but you are so in love with apparent traditional healers that tell you that I work Nkabi. Nkabi is our hitman. What is wrong with you? It doesn't register in my mind how this is possible. It really doesn't. And clearly, this traditional healer board association of people are not doing their job to the best of their abilities. Because if people are coming out onto screen and saying that they do these things, these evil things, why are you not investigating them? Why are you not turning them in? Why are they not helping in cases to find out who shot who, Kokai, Sning, and they're telling us, the world? You know why? Because a lot of people are accepting of their behavior. A lot of people are consulting. A lot of people hear this shit and then they think to themselves, that's the one I want to go and consult with. That's what you're thinking of. People are being deleted. And then the dark voodoo magic is covering it up. And guess what? The ones that are deleting people, they have to keep on going back and back and back. And when they stop going back, the evil spirits, they turn against them. Even the Sangomas themselves, or these witch doctors. I get it, you guys, some of you are saying, not all Sangomas. How would I know? How would I know? The square looks like a square, it's a square. A circle looks like a circle, it's a circle. I don't know about you. Your peers, your industry mates are saying they're doing these things. Therefore, I feel like you're doing these things. Because why would you pass up with the opportunity of this money and stuff like that? Why? Why? This board of traditional healers needs to do more. And they need to start again, they say that they turn people into the cops that are bad. The witches, the dark witches. They need to do more. What about the people that have TV shows that are telling us that they do bad things? Why aren't you investigating them or getting them locked up? Why aren't you questioning them about the people who have perished? Because obviously they help Inkabi, they've said it themselves. Why aren't you doing that? Because everybody is corrupt. Everybody is corrupt. That is the problem right there. Sis, it's so aggravating. Somebody said to me the other day, privately, on WhatsApp, I must be careful of talking about these Sangomas and all these things because they're going to come and get me. They can try. I serve a living God. And if anything wants to happen to me, then it should happen. But I said what I said. Did you watch the video? Did it get you thinking? That's it. My fate is my fate. But I'm still going to say what I want to say. I'm going to say what I want to say. Wrong is wrong and right is right. And you cannot ever expect us to say, oh, but you know what, there's some good ones and some bad ones. The only thing we see on social media, on mainstream media, is the bad ones coming to promote their bad shit. So we're going to believe that. We are going to believe that. And when that other Sangoma guy was on one of those cheap channels, what was it? Soweto TV or something like that. When he was on there and he was exposing them, apparently, allegedly, they eliminated him. They gathered around and took him out because he was exposing them. And if that was to be my fate, and it's not, it will never happen. In the name of Jesus Christ, I am covered by the blood of the Lamb. If that was to be my fate, then so be it. Oksana, I said what I said. I said it. And people need to know. I told you guys, in the Justin Smith case, God is not just exposing this. Like Celestial had said, He's also exposing this witchcraft. Witchcraft is bad. It is not your culture. It is nobody's culture to dibble-dabble in funny, freaky things. It's not. It is not your culture to want to find out about your future. Why are you trying to find? You're not normal. You're weak. You're a weak person if you want to know about your future. Why? Just live your life like a normal human being. It takes the fun out of life, the excitement out of life, if you know blow by blow what's going to happen. Or if you are trying to manipulate other people's destiny. You're freaking weak. That is it. You consult. You're weak. You're not part of our game. You're not part of this world. You can't handle this world. You probably shouldn't even be here at this point because you can't play the game of life. Normal, natural life. You're weak. And you're weird. Bones. Oh my gosh, no. No. It's enough now. It is absolutely enough. Right, so that board of traditional healers association, whatever the hell they are, need to start now getting those other people that have public platforms. Unless they're getting something under the table. Because why can people confess crimes and nothing happens to them? Because it can't be proven. It's all spiritual. When there are channels that tell you about Inkabi, they interview Inkabi and they say we go to these people to protect ourselves and it works. We know that it works. It's not about, oh, I believe in witchcraft, and if I don't believe, it's not going to happen to me. Oh my God. It's not going to happen to you. If you are walking with the good Lord, nothing's going to happen to you. You'll be fine. It's going to bounce right off of you. But it's not going to happen because you don't believe. What do you mean? It exists. And that's why it's a problem. That's why they snatch people for their parts. That's why they turn people into abumkovu. That's why some of your favorite witches tell you that when they perish, they cannot even wait to perish. They cannot wait to perish so that they can come and get the rest of us. Everybody that fucked with them. They're going to be abumkovu. They've signed contracts with their husbands and so on and so forth. They cannot wait to die. To come and abuse people in their death. Nakada. And then you want to say, if I don't believe in it, it won't happen to me. Some of you don't believe in God. Doesn't mean that He doesn't exist. Yeah. Anyway, let's hope that the board of traditional healers does the right thing and starts going for these people, and we can actually see a change, because we are tired of this fashion of traditional Sangoma, witchcraft healers, whatever the hell you want to call them, because I don't know and I don't trust not a single one of them, because the others have tainted their image. That is facts. That is facts on that. Point blank period. Sort them out. The popular ones, get them first, and then you can start going after all the other little ones. Because there are so many of them. It's like an army. They could literally have an army of spiritual witch doctors throwing firebolts at us. Hey, you guys. It's crazy. Right? Anyway, if you guys haven't already, please do like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And baby, I'll see you in the next one. And guys, if you do enjoy my videos, please do click on that thank you button. Once again, I will never trust not any single one of them. Not the mediums, not the Sangomas, not the ones that say, oh, we just healers. I don't know. I don't know. And Oksalayo, if any of you have that navy gray tint, don't come near me.
Popo ena ke pata mahlo a ke patile mahlo ke nka dinalete ke di hloma masileng a ka morao ka mo.
Most of training is hard. You know, they push you to levels that you didn't know your body could even.
Thokozani Bakob. Nancy isofle mali. It's called money attracts imali, yabo. If you play Betway,
don't do it. Period. Because I can see you from a mile away. And I don't like you. Just stay away. And also you guys, stay away from these mdumbas. I don't care if it's their bread and butter. The fact if there's 1, 2, 4, 3 and there's more, we all know this. That is tapping into the darkness because they are tapping into it because of money. It must make you question the rest of them. Because nobody wants to see the other people coming up behind them and then rising up and being great. Because they're doing dark stuff. At some point, some of them, they lust. And they want to join into the darkness. That other Sangoma lady in my video, she was saying that every witch doctor starts off as a Sangoma, a healer, as they put them. But at some point, some of them decide to go into the dark side. And once you go into that dark side, you can never come back. So who the hell are we supposed to think is in the dark side or not in the dark side? Because you all look the same. You all dress the same. Who are we supposed to know we're into the dark side? So that board of traditional healers needs to sort themselves out. They need to become more prominent because this situation in these communities is prominent. It's a problem. And eradicate the nonsense before we can start trusting them. That is it. Point blank period. Your best bet is to stay away from them because you don't know who's the dark one and who's the light one. You don't know. And then they're all speaking to familiar spirits anyway. So who's dark and who's light? It doesn't make any freaking sense. This thing really does annoy me. Yes. Anyway, you guys, I will see you in the next one. Take care of yourself and be safe. I love you, dazzling diamonds. And by the way, thank you guys for 9,000 subscribers. I just got really hit on that, but I was trying to keep my energy in my body before it combusts. Because my thing about you, and stop being afraid that if you talk about these things, they're gonna come and get you. Let them try. You serve a living God. Let them try, and then we'll see. And then you never ever in your life, don't be a witch. Don't be a witch. You never ever in your life have to do prayers, dangerous prayers of return back to sender. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. It's unnecessary. You become a witch when you do that. You have to return nothing to no one. You just have to ask God for His protection. You have to be underneath God. He will cover you. They will not see you. They cannot reach you. You have to have faith. It's about faith. I would not preach it this way and say it this way if I didn't believe in it. My faith has grown from strength to strength over the years, and I can see how it has saved my life time and time again. Some of you know I should have been in a lot of hot waters, in a lot of situations, even here on the internet. But guess what? I'm covered by the blood of the Lamb, and I believe, I have faith, and it will never waver, it will never change. God is good. God is there. He's real. He is real. And there's no going through any sangomas or other spirits to get to God. You go straight to God. It's just you and Him. That is it. And I'm done. Bye, guys.